I used to live alone in a duplex, or at least I thought I did. But ever since I started hearing myself walking around upstairs, I haven't slept more than an hour a night. I was 26 when this happened. At the time, I had just moved into a small duplex house on the edge of town. It was cheap, one of those too good to be true listings, where the landlord barely checks your references. The house was split into 2 floors. I lived on the bottom, and the upper floor had supposedly been empty for years. When I asked the landlord about it, he told me, "Yeah, the upstairs unit's sealed off. Plumbing's bad. No one's up there." The weird thing was, the upstairs had its own front door, stairs, and mailbox, but no lights ever came from the windows. The first few nights were fine, quiet, peaceful. But on the 5th night, around 2 a.m., I woke up to the sound of footsteps above me. Slow, deliberate steps, like someone pacing. At first I thought it was a raccoon or something. But then, the steps stopped right above my bedroom, and I swear I heard a faint dragging sound, like furniture being pushed across the floor. I went outside with a flashlight, shined it up at the windows. Nothing. No light. No movement. The next morning, I called the landlord again. He sounded annoyed. "Told you, no one lives there. Probably just the pipes or something." I wanted to believe that. I really did. But a few nights later, I was brushing my teeth when I heard the footsteps again. Same pace, same rhythm. Only this time, they stopped exactly when I stopped moving. It was like whoever, or whatever, was up there was listening to me, mirroring me. The next day, I tried the upstairs door. Locked, old rusted padlock. But what caught my attention was the smell, like stale air and something faintly metallic. I almost left it alone until I noticed something even stranger. Through the crack under the door, I saw light, flickering, like from a TV. But there was no power running to that floor. That night, I heard it again. Not just footsteps now, but something heavier. A thump. Then another. Then a dragging sound, like someone pulling a body bag across wood. I stood frozen in my hallway, staring at the ceiling. Then I heard it. My own voice. Muffled, but clear enough to recognize. It said, "Why are you awake?" I dropped everything and ran outside. I waited in my car until sunrise. When I finally got the courage to go back inside, I found something that made my stomach drop. The light in my living room, the one I'd turned off before leaving, was on. And on my coffee table, there was an empty mug, the same brand and color as mine. Only, it wasn't mine. Mine was still in the sink. At that point, I called the landlord again, furious. He came by that afternoon, and when I showed him the upstairs door, he went pale. He said he'd check it out himself. He unlocked the padlock, pushed open the door, and the smell hit us both immediately. Rot. Dampness. The air was thick and cold. We stepped inside, and I realized the upstairs was an exact replica of my apartment. Same layout, same furniture, even the same pictures on the wall, except in every photo, the faces were scratched out. The landlord left immediately, saying he was calling the cops. I stayed behind for just a few seconds longer. That's when I saw him. Standing in the hallway, half hidden by the shadows, was me. Same clothes I was wearing, same haircut. But his face was wrong. Like it was stretched just slightly too wide, the eyes too dark, like holes. He tilted his head and then smiled. I bolted down the stairs, out the door, and didn't stop until I reached my car. The police checked the place, but they said there was no one upstairs. They even showed me photos. The room was completely empty. No furniture, no lights, no signs of another tenant. But when I came back the next day to grab my things and leave for good, I saw something new taped to my door. It was a photograph, a picture of me, asleep in my bed. The timestamp on the photo was from the night before I'd moved out. and in the corner of the image was a faint reflection in the mirror. My double, standing in the doorway, watching. I moved to a new apartment a few towns over. No upstairs neighbor this time. But every now and then, when I brush my teeth late at night, I swear I hear footsteps, matching mine, from the ceiling above.